Hi, Prith here. In this video, what I want to do is show you how you can draw really easy using a technique called blind contour drawing. So what this involves is you decide what you want to draw. So it might be, what I'm going to do is set up a little collection of objects. And what you do is you set up your paper. I've got mine set up here. And you draw what you see without looking at your paper. So what you're doing is just looking at your objects and tracing around the edge of your objects and allowing your hand to move as your eye is tracing around the objects. Now it's called blind contour drawing because you're not allowed to look down at your sheet of paper at what you're drawing. You also, the added twist to this exercise is also that you're going to do a continuous line. You aren't going to take your pen off the sheet of paper. So it might sound quite hard, but it's really quite fun. And what it does is it just really frees you up in terms of having to draw realistically, which can be quite hard. So if you just want to loosen up and have some fun, and, you know, just enjoy the line. I really like line. There's something really special about line. That's what I really love. So sometimes I do these drawings and I don't really fill them in, but it's quite nice to add colour to them. But sometimes I just like them as drawings. So you can either use a pencil, or if you want to be bold, you can use a felt tip. I quite like doing bolder lines and marks, but if you want to do a pencil that you can maybe alter after you finish, you could do that. But that's the trick. So you just, your eyes are straight ahead at what you're seeing and your pencil is down here and you don't look down. You don't look down. That's what we're going to do. So have a go yourself because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm going to have a go with a little collection of objects I got here and I'll let you know how I get on. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my jar at the left. It's like a chalk jar, and there's another vase going up here. It's quite hard not to look down because you're thinking, really? And then I've got a little square bottle of nail polish in front. Now, do I finish here? Maybe. So it's quite nice, but I think it does need a line here. So I'm looking at it now and I'm going to put in a line here. So let me show you what I've done. So it's sort of quite a nice abstract-y. I quite like it. So now I have to decide, do I want to add anything else to it or do I like it as it is? So I think what it might need is maybe just a sense of the table where it's sitting. And then it might be quite nice just to do some block colours on this, which I might try and do now. So I'm going to add some colour to this now. So I have found some watercolours. These are in a tube. So I've picked a selection. Sometimes I think it's really good to restrict yourself, especially when you're just beginning with painting, because colour is a very complex thing, because the colours act differently when you put them next to each other. So, you know, it's quite a complicated process. So to keep things simple, it's really good at the beginning to restrict your colours. You could even do like just shades of one colour. So you could do this with shades of blue. So if you had some paint like just blue and white, you could do blue with different levels of white, maybe pick 4 different shades of blue, mix them up, and then just block in and see how that would work. And the only rule would be is just try not to get the same colour next to each other. So don't worry about shading. We're just going to do like flat colours, quite graphic-y, because we're not worried about shading. We're just looking at this as a beginning and we're just looking at this as pattern. So I've chosen these colours, and when you choose colours, it's really handy, whether it's pencil crayons or felt tips or watercolours or pastels. If you put them next to each other like this, and you can just see if they go. So, you know, just by the colours, you can see whether or not you like the colour combination. Put them next to each other, see if you like them, and then experiment. And don't worry about making a mistake. And you could even leave some areas white and use the white of the paper as a colour. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to use these 4 and let's see how I get on. So this is the painting now, and this has got just the 4 colours that I chose, and I didn't do anything with colours, I just mixed them straight. Maybe I should just go towards the end of this tably colour. But with my colours, I don't think I can, the only way, I sort of want to paint the background something, but the only colour I got that wouldn't touch, that wouldn't duplicate these colours is red. So I could do it red. It does look good white, but I think I'm going to go with the 4th colour, the background, because that was my plan, just to see if I could do a composition in 4 colours without them touching. So I'm gonna try it. Finished. Let me show you. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it looks better with the white background or the red background? So this is an exercise just to show you that without doing any shading, without doing any mixing of colours, without being able to draw, you can still create a painting. Because I did some blind contour drawing, and all we did was pick 4 colours. We didn't mix them, and we just stuck to the 4 colours, and we just placed them on the paper. And yeah, and it's interesting because sometimes you can look at the outside of a tube, and it's worth knowing sometimes the colours come out slightly differently. So this green looked a bit brighter, didn't it? But it came out quite dark. But it's fine. I think it's fine. But it's a good way just of practicing colour, practicing painting, because it's quite good to getting used to a brush, how the paint reacts with paper. I was using watercolour paper, so it soaked up the paper, so that it soaked up the paint, which was good. And I used 3 different brushes. So for the large areas, I used the big brush, and I had like a medium brush, and then I had like a smaller brush that I used just for the getting into the details. So you really can start making art very simply and easily. So I'd recommend you do this a few different times. You could even draw the same shapes again if you want, and play around with different colours. If you want to use white and mix up some different shades, then do that. But and just main thing is to enjoy the process and to enjoy the colour. So hope you're inspired to do some more.